Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Gekokujo 3.1. Now, when we left off, we had just taken Tsushima from, well, neutral party, I suppose, but yes, we've taken Tsushima, and as a result, I actually do have a couple of Tsushima gunners. Now, do bear in mind that these guys can actually level up into veteran Tsushima gunners, I believe, and yeah, it's actually a bit unfortunate, really, because I was just in a battle with some Kenai rebels, and I thought to myself, yes, I would very much like to level those guys up, and then I moved, by mistake, just a little bit, just 2 seconds, not even that, and I was beset upon by a huge amount of Kenai rebels once again, and these are those rebels, so I thought to myself, okay, we're going to start the recording here, because these guys deserve to be humiliated on camera. And now that I've said that, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to get killed. I'm going to get killed with a pike in the face or something, and that's what's going to happen. Or I'm just going to lose the fight outright. If I lose the fight outright, then I'm just going to be really sad. But I think we should be fine. As you can see here, we do have some peasant man people things running around and doing some damage. But yeah, for the most part, Kenai rebels are actually an extremely good way to level up your unit. So if you're also playing alongside me, then I highly recommend checking out Miyoshi territory. I do know that the north areas of Gekokujo, they're very good, apparently. But that's the thing, I'm very far away from the northern areas. It's highly unlikely I would be able to go, you know, relatively easily up there, so this is the next best thing for me, so I'm kind of just using them to the best of my ability and getting some pretty decent experience, decent gear as well, decent loot. And also a little bit of renown too. Look at that, 10 renown. Now what I've done, I think you can probably tell, but what I've done is I have modified his leadership, Bruce Beartilde's leadership of course, because, you know, he's actually meant to be a seasoned veteran. You know, putting some salt and pepper on there, you know, making sure that everything's seasoned just right. Yeah, did you like that joke? Hopefully you did. Anyway, here we go. We lost 7 veteran Jimon monk warriors, which is actually okay. I don't actually mind about losing those guys so much, because they are pretty easy to get, so I don't really mind so much. Now this, I believe, is the pike that these guys are using against me. I think they are, yes. I think that is. So if I actually, I'm gonna use this actually instead of the Nodachi, mainly because I actually never use the Nodachi. I'm always using the Masamune on horseback, even though technically it is a much better siege weapon. And in general, I'm just not very much using the Nodachi, which is a bit of a shame, really, because it is a very good weapon. I'm very much enjoying using this horse as well, which I think now I may have gotten from one of those random events. Unsure about that, but maybe we'll find out as time goes on. So, as you could see, I'm around Kyoto here because I was literally just sort of waiting at Midera for the respawn, because I just came back from Tsushima with these gunners, and as you can see, I now have veteran Tsushima gunners, so they're really nice. Obviously we have some peasant men and, you know, so on and so forth. Mei Ling and Teruyo have both advanced in level, so obviously they're going to be, you know, getting some things here. I am unsure what to spec her into though, because even though, I mean, she has 18 strength, I should probably level up her agility a little bit, shouldn't I? Because in general, agility is pretty decent. I mean, she's going to need much more athletics than this. She's going to need maybe much more Weapon Master. I don't actually think she'll need more Weapon Master. But what she does need is more Power Throw, because she is a thrown weapon specialist, and it would make sense. There you go. Very nice. So what is she currently using? Okay, so she's currently just using a heavy Chinese Shangdao, which is absolutely fine. But there have been no throwing weapons just yet, which I'm actually really surprised about. So yeah, maybe we're going to find one of those soon enough. And it seems like Teruyo is also using a Chinese Shangdao, so that's pretty nice. Otherwise, yeah, no bow or anything like that. It seems like I'm going to need to buy them these ranged weapons, because at the moment they don't seem to, actually want to pick them up themselves, or we're just not being lucky enough to pick them up. So, as you can see, what do we want to go for here? Well, athletics would probably help her out. She has, She has 4 in power draw already, but only 2 in power strike. I personally feel like we're going to go a little bit more in the power strike area here. And she is actually a lot better with pole arms than she is with two-handed. So I'm thinking maybe I want to change that around a little bit. So how do I do this? Auto loot, there we go. Update management. Okay, so let's tell her to get a pole arm instead, and bow and arrows, and I think that's absolutely fine. Actually, I've just had a thought. I've just had a thought, actually. So let's actually just take a look here while I say actually another 100 times. And yeah, we're going to give her... Where is it? Did I just... Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her this one. Mainly because I want to actually use... I want to use the other one myself. But I'm going to give her this one. Just because, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to go into Kyoto and see if I can buy a pretty reasonable bow. Because if I can buy a reasonable bow for her, then she'll be even better than normal. And as you can see here, we have a strong Yumi for 5,300. Yeah, a little bit too much for my liking at the moment. And there are actually... Whoa, there are these pikes, very easy to find, as you can see. Yeah, they are very easy to find. Okay, well, I don't really need to worry about that. Kunai, as you can see, there's kunai here for a pretty reasonable amount. Heavy shurikens. I'm thinking I'm actually just going to give her some shurikens. Yeah, let's give Mei Ling some shurikens, and we're going to sell the remaining things here, because obviously we don't really need them. They're not very good. And I'm going to leave this two-handed weapon just in case. And I'm going to give Teruyo this Korean bow, because the Korean bow is actually pretty decent. It's not too bad, as you can see. It's just a little bit worse than what I'm using, so I think that's, that's pretty decent. And obviously I don't really have any... Oh, there is a War Yumi here. Ah, alright. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the War Yumi for myself. I think. Am I? Yeah, I guess. I'm going to buy the War Yumi for myself, and I'm going to give the regular Yumi to Teruyo, and then I just have to buy some arrows. But obviously, the arrows that we can currently see are not that good, but I'm just going to buy them anyway, because she's going to do pretty decently with them, so I think that's kind of nice. And we only spent 680, which is even better than I anticipated, so not bad. And let's give Mei Ling her throwing weapons, there we go. And Teruyo will also then be using a bow. Yeah, let's put that there we go. Okay, so she is a cavalry person's worst nightmare, because this pike is just going to devastate anyone that comes within her range. We know how good people can be with that pike. Obviously she's going to be absolutely terrible in sieges, but... well, she's going to be using her bow mostly, right? So, it's not really necessary, I suppose. Anyway, there you go. That's pretty nice. I could participate in another tournament. I feel like that is not really necessary, so I'm probably not going to be doing that right now. I am probably going to be waiting here for some time, because I think there is... another tick of recruitment available very, very soon from Midera, and it would be quite nice. Oh no, it seems like I'm going to be ignoring most of the requests. Yeah, most of the requests of the Oda clan at the moment, mainly because I'm getting prepared to create our own faction. So yeah, obviously we're going to mostly ignore them, which is probably not the best idea for the most part, but okay. Yeah, so there you go. Jimon Monk Warriors, there's another 16, thank you very much. And these guys level up extremely fast as well, so it's really nice. Otherwise, we do have these guys in here, which I'm maybe thinking of using for the upcoming sieges against the Ryuzoji clan, or, maybe we'll just find a weaker faction like that. Who knows? Who knows? So let's actually just take a look around here and just make sure that I haven't missed anything, because you never know. You never know, because I remember way back when I was playing Nova Eaters, and hello, there's actually a number of other villages up here. Alright. There might be something going on here. There might be something going on here. It could just be that there are a bunch of random villages up there that do something, but who knows? Yes, as I was saying, I was playing Novaritas and I attacked the Aztecs in that mod, and, well, they're pretty bad. You know, their units are pretty bad. They just outnumber you extremely much, so I was hoping that I might be able to find something like that, but obviously the problem with that is that I'm going to have to travel a very, very far distance. Okay, so we are now prepared. Are we? Are we prepared? I suppose we are, but I'd like to fight just a couple of Kenai rebels just to level up. Kenai rebels, they do have some hired guards and things like that, and they're going to be, well, this is a term that I used to use way back in the early 2000s. And it is referring to bring a friend. Technically, it's baffing. Baffing, yeah, can you believe it? Baffing, yeah, it's B-A-F-I-N-G, you know, kind of thing like that. And what it means is it brings a friend. And in Warband, what that means is, obviously, bandits joining up with each other and actually helping each other out. So, you know, if this guy had brought a friend, then it would have meant that we'd be fighting much more, and I would have obviously gained a lot more experience as a result for our, you know, Jimon monk warriors. But yeah, as it stands, that's obviously not happening, you know, because he decided to run away in the opposite direction, and that was not so good. But anyway, let's see what we can do with our War Yumi. It's a new bow, so should be okay, I guess. Nice headshot. Yeah, that's not bad, I suppose, already. And we can obviously get a couple more little bit of damage here and there. There we go. Yes, kill that. Can I kill this as well before they get to me? Nope. Okay, well, let's just run. Run away. Okay, so how are the gunners doing? They're absolutely feeble as nothing else, by the looks of things. Yeah, they don't actually seem to be doing too much. I'm very, very worried about these pole arms, really, because I was fighting just before I started recording, and one of them did, I think, 38 damage to me. And I was just thinking to myself, that's balanced. Well, technically it is actually balanced because, yeah, look at that. As you can see, it is actually balanced because they're using a polearm. I'm running into them at full speed. Well, not full speed, but almost full speed on my mount. And that obviously makes a huge difference to the amount of damage that they're able to do. I'm actually just going to charge in my infantry right now. There's not really any necessity to use any further depth of tactics here. I mean, really, you know, these guys are outnumbered. And technically they're outgunned, because we do have gunners. A lot of gunners. I'm just really kind of sad. What are you doing here? What are you doing? Get over there. Are they serious? Are they really serious? Oh, well. Never mind. Never mind. But yes, it's just rather amusing to see the gunners not really do too much. But I suppose it really depends. I think at the very beginning of the fight, they didn't have line of sight. So that's obviously going to make a big difference to how much damage they're able to do, you know, if they keep getting stopped by... Whoa, Tsuruyo is actually doing really a lot of damage with her polearm. Did you see that? I think I just saw her poke someone in the butt. Yes, in the butt. Okay, well, anyway, let's see. Okay, I can take some peasant women and peasant men and things like that. Okay, so obviously there's only 3 items. There's going to be absolutely nothing for us here, but we can obviously sell those things, which is always nice. Ah, Francisco, thank you very much for leveling up, finally. It's taken him a long time to level up. So, well, what are we going to be doing with him? Well, he's going to be my medic, basically. So, I'm just going to be continuing to level up his intelligence. He's also our engineer, hilariously enough. Alright, so what are we going to do? Well, wound treatment, first aid is obviously a, you know, given here. And I'm going to be leveling up his firearm proficiency. I actually wish that he had a much better weapon, because this weapon right here is 16 speed rating. I'm actually wondering whether you can get a better firearm. Not entirely sure if I can get something that fires faster. I mean, that's the main thing that I'd like to get. Anyway, now we're going to head on to Sado or Sado or whatever you want to call it, and we're going to try and take it. But as it stands, we have a pretty decent army capacity, and if we are lucky, that means that we're not going to get any rallies outside like we did in the previous episode, and obviously that made a that made me quite sad, because we didn't really have that fewer units in comparison to the enemy. So, whoa, there's a huge amount of declarations going on there. Look at that. That is insane. Anyway, gonna be making my way up there, making my way downtown, you know, that sort of thing. And we're gonna see what Sado has for us. Alright, well, it seems like it has Sado exiles, some looters, hired warriors, and hired gunners. Obviously, that's kind of the standard. So, let's attack the mansion. Seems like we're not getting any kind of rallies, which is very nice. Very nice for me. And I'm a little bit worried about the hired gunners, as always, because, you know, I don't really want to lose too many to them, even though they are extremely good. Now, I do seem to think that the other Sado exiles actually the highest tier of their unique unit, or are they the lowest tier? Because they seem maybe not to be that good as it stands. I mean, they don't seem that good right now, but I've heard that the Sado units are actually some of the best unique units that you can get. So I'm pretty interested and intrigued to see what happens with these guys. As it stands, though, these looters are dying before us like wheat to the chaff. Yes, I don't even know. That's not even the correct saying, is it? No, I don't think that's the correct saying, but you get my point. You get my point. They are just absolutely falling before us like wheat to a scythe. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. That makes more sense. Anyway, I think that was actually one of the quickest defeats, or shall we say victories, that we have ever seen in one of these locations. Obviously, I'm going to try and eliminate these guys. Ooh, nice shot, Bruce. Nice shot. Very nice. He must have been training a little bit, but there you go. We have won very easily, in fact. And now we do get to, yes, we can control 6 forts now that we have remembered our former experience from controlling the entirety of Japan. So, this is mine now. Yes, this is mine. What do you want from us? This is a prison for undesirables. Are we to accompany you back to the mainland? I actually would love to be able to recruit these lords as vassals. Wouldn't that be absolutely amazing? To have the opportunity to basically prove yourself as a leader, and then for that exile or that, you know, lord in question, he'll be like, oh, you're very impressive, and then, you know, join you. I think that would be pretty cool. Anyway, he's going to be the administrator. So let's see what Sado has to offer. Okay, so exiled samurai and fish. Alright, I wish to recruit some men. 18. Oh yes, so these are the lowest tier, which is absolutely fine. Don't mind that so much, because we can level them up very, very easily. They're probably going to level up about the same speed as the Jimon monk warriors, and we know that they're pretty decent. You know, they're not great, but they're pretty decent. So let's get that. There we go. We have all of those, and apparently we can level those up to Sado returnees. I don't know how good they are, but I suppose we're going to find out. But probably do that in the next episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.